The problem is I fought Tamir, who's so talented on 34 hours notice. I made the weight and I end up getting it done. And you get a lot of experience and you get a lot of pride in yourself after that. And so I was willing to take on other impossible things when I didn't have to. I was willing to be impossible too much, and that was on me. I was willing to take as 5 opponents. I was willing to take 3 different weight cuts, 3 different dates, all because the power that I gained from making that weight on 34 hours. I know how hard that was for me. Like I went through hell for that Tamir fight. So that just made me think I was a different beast.
Let's talk about you're back inside the octagon on March 12th. You're facing an undefeated fighter in Javid
Uh-huh.
Basharat. Thoughts on him and what you see in his skill set?
My thoughts on him is it's a very nice opponent. He got the zero behind his name. That's great. That's all the motivation I need, man. I know I got the seven behind my name, but I'm excited to show them that that it's levels of guys you fought when you get in there. Also, that's gonna make a good fight. I feel I never had a perfect path. I've always fought hard guys, so I think it's a nice matchup, man. He's pretty good. He's pretty talented, but I do think I'm a different dog.
When you do have that zero, right, at the end of your record, it's shiny and everybody wants to talk about it, right? But when you do have a number, like let's say you have 7 losses, it shows you that you've been through the battle, you have the scars, you have the wounds, you know what I mean? That's a different animal, right? When you enter the octagon.
I've been there before. I've seen high paid, high level UFC athletes, they get their first or second loss and they want to quit and give up on the sport. I'm still here, man. I'm still here, and I'm still hungry. We're still making adjustments, and we're coming out there like it's a 0-0 record. So we're prepared for this. We know what's on the line. I really want to take that all away. So I'm here to prove a point too.
When you look at his when you look at an undefeated fighter, people are going to look at his opponents. What do you think about his strength of schedule?
His strength of schedule has nothing on my strength of schedule. That's for sure a fact. And that's a fact. And that's why I'm going into this fight very positive. I'm a good fighter and I fought a lot of good fighters, but to be 11-0 with 11 finishes, that's perfect, man. You're skilled. So I'm looking at him like this guy's perfect. So I'm training like he's perfect. So if he didn't fight the right level of opponents, it's gonna show inside the octagon. Because when I look at your resume, you're 11-0 with 11 finishes. I'm fighting a perfect guy on March 12th, and I gotta be perfect on paper. But uh, yeah, I feel I have the strongest strength of schedule by far, man. My second my second pro fight was against Justin Ashaka Cruz. He was 17-2 and I was 1-0. So I think Justin had more wins than his opponents up to maybe 9-0. So he's undefeated. So he is gonna bring it. He is gonna try. But I'm looking for the experience to show on my side and get me through this fight nicely.
You were supposed to fight on December 18th versus
Hmm.
Hyon Barcelos, who is like
Yes.
a monster in that division. Like
Yes.
it's a different level with him. You know what I mean? If you
Yes.
faced him, that's
Yes.
like top 15,
Yes.
competition right there. But that was
Uh huh.
canceled, man. Why did they pull you from that matchup?
I want to say I had an injury, man. So I was injured for my last fight a little bit. I actually took the fight. I wanted that fight. I took the fight. I thought it was a perfect fight to make a statement. I know Ryan is very talented, but I felt like I came off a loss, so I needed another dog in front of me to get my respect back. So we went ahead and took that fight kind of early out, and we were still injured. And when we got into camp, maybe like 2 weeks after we took the fight, we started. The ball was rolling. My knee and my stuff wasn't just ready to perform yet. It wasn't ready to perform. And we know Ryan, like you said, he's a monster. So we knew we had to be ready for this fight. So we figured if we're gonna fight someone like that, we're gonna fight someone ready. So when we pulled out of the fight, I thought they were just gonna push it back a little because we only said we need a little bit more time, but they ended up giving me a whole new opponent. I guess Ryan wanted to stick to that date and actually fight. So I think that's why the fight was fully scrapped. But we didn't like said we couldn't make the fight. We just said we couldn't make that date because we were still going through therapy.
I'm happy that you made that decision. Sometimes fighters can be their worst enemies, and they will just
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, 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 man. I for sure couldn't fight that night. There
Mhm.
was no way I could have fought December 18th. No way. Like, no way.
Yeah, and sometimes you see guys, they just take fights and it's just wasn't meant to be for them to take that fight, you
Oh,
know what I mean? And they were
yes,
injured, you
yes.
know, and you didn't
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have to really take a fight right away because you just had fought, right? It's not like
Yeah,
you were on a long layoff or something. So
yeah.
I'm happy that
No.
you took that path. Let's talk about your last fight, man. Leading up to it, there was a lot of drama, a lot of switch ups. Take me through what
Yeah.
you had to endure that summer, the summer of 2021.
So it was very tough, and I put it all on me. It's not on no one else. It's all on me. I was the hungry guy out there. I was the one that felt I can get this done. I was the one that was willing to go out there and fight anybody. It didn't matter their name. That was all on me. The problem was is I fought Tamir, who's so talented on 34 hours notice. I made the weight and I end up getting it done. And you get a lot of experience and you get a lot of pride in yourself after that. And so I was willing to take on other impossible things when I didn't have to. I was willing to be impossible too much, and that was on me. I was willing to take as 5 opponents. I was willing to take 3 different weight cuts, 3 different dates, all because the power that I gained from making that weight on 34 hours. I know how hard that was for me. Like I went through hell for that Tamir fight. So that just made me think I was a different beast. Maybe I bit off a little bit much I can chew, but I know for sure, my corners know for sure, my team knows for sure. For me to hold my weight and make it 3 times, we're proud of me for that. That was so hard. That's like the hardest thing I ever did in my life, like make weight like that 3 times. I was very weak. When fight day came, I was so weak. I was so weak before the fight started. I was weak. We knew we were weak, but what were we gonna do? The fight's day set, and we're gonna go out there and fight. Maybe I bit off a little bit more than I can chew because it was my first time actually making weight 3 times like that. I'm proud of myself for that, man. I wanted it, and I still want it. So, I just take the experience and the positives from that. I still feel like I could have beat the boy, man. Like I knew how weak I was. I still got good positions. I'm gonna look forward to that rematch in the future. I just gotta get through these people that I got in front of me right now.
Yeah, well, no fighter ever goes into a fight 100%. We all know that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why you
all
guys are
my fights,
warriors.
all my fights I've been injured. Like all the fights you've been interviewing me for, all my late fights I've been injured. So it's not like I'm the kind of guy. Like I said, I have a different path than some of these guys, man. Like some of these things, a coach needs to tell me, Trev, this is not the right choice. But if it's me telling myself, I'm out there, bro. So that's what you just been seeing. You just been seeing me be out there. I'm doing my job. Some of these guys don't want to do their job, and I signed up to do this job, and I'm gonna do this job to the best of my ability. That's just how I feel about it. Like whether I lose, win, draw, like I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna fight the guy. My last opponent also missed weight. Like the first problem was because my opponent hit the scale, or he couldn't make it to the scale. The second one was probably because my opponent couldn't hit the scale. Then I ended up fighting a guy that still couldn't make the scale. Like that, it was ridiculous out there last time. Like, and that's just how the cookie crumbled for me. And I have no excuses. He did his thing. He's not supposed to go out there and lose, but I would like to fight him if he makes weight. Because I believe like the way I was able to control him against the cage and stuff like that, like 3.5 pounds from that, you that's a lot of weight, man. That's a lot of weight on your opponent. And him not gaining 3.5 pounds back, or him going through a longer period of dehydration to rehydration, that's a factor in the fight. And I had to go through that not only once, not twice, 3 times. So this fight, I erased that, man. I'm a fresh start. A lot happened. There was even more than that happened, and but I have no excuses. I'm here to fight another day. God's gave me another chance, and I'm gonna perform.
You've been doing most of your training camp in Guam this time around, it seems like.
Yes, I did the full training camp on Guam.
Why did you decide to do that and not go out to Vegas?
Cause well, I've been going to Vegas for my last couple of camps, so I kind of know what Vegas got. Unless I'm going to see new people, I kind of still got those tools, and I didn't get to show it last time. So there was no need to go get new tools if I didn't even get to show the tools that I already have. So it was kind of like that. Like we work hard on Guam. Look, I got a cut on my head right now. On Guam, we work very hard. We go very hard. So I still got those tools to show. So I don't need to keep gaining tools, gaining tools. I go from Brazil to Extreme Couture. I believe my opponent's at Extreme Couture right now. But when a fight first popped off, I spoke to the coaches. They don't care about that. They're like, we can have both of you guys in here if you want, as if that's what they said to me. But I feel like he made the move to Vegas. He stays there permanently. Um, I rather them to benefit off that. So I didn't want to go there and then try to still use my training partners that I am friends with at the camp or whatever. I just thought it was best for me to stay here, man. I got enough money. I could have trained anywhere I want. I could have went to American Top Team. I could have went to Stanford MMA. I could have went anywhere I wanted to go. Honestly, it wasn't really a problem to me. But I feel I'm familiar with him. I'm gonna go ahead and let him train there. But I'm kind of familiar with them. I know how they train. They're very talented over there. But I'm familiar with them, so I feel the kind of style and the way they train. I know the style and the way they train. So they don't know what's going on over here in Guam. We get down. So we'll leave that on him. And like I said, he's the one with the O. He's the one with the big team now. So all the pressure's on him.
So how do you expect to bounce back? How do you want to perform against your opponent?
Man, Mario had a spectacular performance his last fight. And, I watched that. I'm like, ooh, Mario is nice out there. So, it's kind of like the Mario fight. They're nice and they're good too. But I got what it takes to stifle him at any time. And like the Tamir fight, Tamir was dominating me. Like, you couldn't even think I had a chance in the fight. But even my last fight, I was getting choked. I wasn't even tapped. So, I really got to get put away. I take that into consideration. Like, Trev, dude, you can go hard because you're not even going to quit no matter what they get you in, no matter what they hit you with. I ain't going to quit. You got to shut me off. So by me knowing now for sure that they got to shut me off, because that was my first time going to sleep in training or anything. I just knew I didn't fight so good that I had to go to sleep. I was like, this fight is shit. Like, I had to do more, and I just had to go to sleep to make it like maybe an exciting fight or what. But I knew I wasn't tapping because the fight wasn't a good enough fight for me to tap. Does that make sense? I don't know. It wasn't a good enough fight for me to tap out. Like, if I would have tapped out to that fight, I would have looked even worse than my performance. You know what I mean? Like, I had to try getting out of that choke any way I can. There wasn't much time left, so the risk was worth it. I ended up going to sleep, but that's just how the cookie crumbled. The fight wasn't spectacular enough for me to just tap out. So, but then again, like I said, I had no intentions on tapping out. I had no intentions on getting knocked out. My body has to be shut off. I really know that about myself. My training partners always tell me, but to see me go to sleep out there, I still take positive from that too, man. I'm a dog. I ain't gonna go out easy. So this guy can hit me whatever he wants. I'm gonna be in his face, and I got the power, man. They better not sleep on the power because I'm gonna be throwing.
Well, you do have the power. We know you have the power. You've knocked out two guys.
Yeah, he needs to know I have the power, though. You better not. Oh, boy, I can't wait, boy. Oh, boy. I'm just really excited for this fight, man, because, he's undefeated, And the UFC, he's undefeated. Oh, this is nice for me, honestly. Like, no, as bad as, like, they got the critics like, oh, this is bad. Trev's gonna lose. This is nice for me, guys. This is nice for me. This is what you want. This is how you want to step up. This is how you want to go through, guys. You don't want to keep beating up on guys that you can beat. Where's the fight in that? Where's the glory in that? Like, I know my opponent's tough. I know all the opponents I'm gonna get is tough. But this is what we signed up for, man. We gotta step up and do our job.
So, do you feel like, in a way, a underdog role a little bit in this fight because he has that 0?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like that. There's no way. Like, most of the fans and stuff do not know statistics like you guys, so they don't have background checks. So all the time, yeah, I expect to be the underdog in this fight. But I've been the underdog in all my fights, dude. I've been the underdog in all my fights. This is nothing to me. Like, this is a regular day in the office. I'm here to upset all the time. I'm here to win. So I'm always upset, man. You can look at all that. I'm always the underdog. So if you want to look at that, like, oh, Trev's the underdog, that means nothing to me now at this point. Like, before, I used to pay attention to stuff like that. Like, what? They got me the underdog? Oh, hell no. Now I'm like, whatever, dude. You guys are joking.
Yeah, man. It's all part of the growth and maturity of you as a fighter, physically, mentally, and all of that. March 12th, man. You're back in action.
Yeah.
UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas. Let's do it.
Yes,
Trevin, thank you so much, man,
for the time.
I'm
ready, man. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to Upgrade, the boys. Shout out to my Guam boys at the yard, Fight 22, everyone that helped me out, John Tuck, we're gonna put on a show for you guys. I'm gonna get back on that win column and let's shock the world one more time, Trev. Let's show them that it's real.